Ready to do some more fractions? More multiplying fractions today. Okay, so this time we're going to find a fraction of a whole number. Yesterday we did kind of the opposite of that. We had the whole number and we found the fraction. Anyway, it's similar, but it's slightly different. Okay, so here's the story problem. Trent had 20 baseball cards. How many of you guys have baseball cards? He told Miles, you guys can look at your paper too. We're on page number 269. Okay, he told Miles, his friend, that he could have 3/4 of his cards. Trent divided the 20 cards into 4 equal groups and gave 3 groups of cards to Miles. How many cards did Trent give him? Okay, so he took his pile of 20 cards, and since he said he could have 3/4 of them, he divided them into 4 groups. And then he gave Miles, he said he'd give him 3/4 of them, so he gave him a fourth, a fourth, a fourth. 3/4 of them, and he kept 1/4 for himself. Okay, and to figure out how many he got, that's the picture, but how many he got, over here, one stack, each stack had 5 cards. Okay, so 5 cards plus 5 cards plus 5 cards. Miles got 3/4, which would be 15 cards. Do you see? Okay, so that's one way of doing it. It's kind of like the way we did it yesterday with the girl and the sleepover and the pizza. Okay, we're doing just the opposite though. Yesterday we were trying to figure out how many total they had. This time we're taking the total, just the opposite, and giving some of it away, and you got to figure out how much they got. Okay, so here's the second one. Mother made 5 gallons of punch for the Women's Missionary Fellowship meeting. 2/3 of the punch was gone by the end of the meeting. How much punch did the ladies drink? Okay, it says Mother found the answer by multiplying. Remember yesterday, multiplying I think is still easier. So you do 2/3 times 5. When you want to know the fraction of something, whenever you want to know the fraction of something, you're going to multiply. I go like this. I always tell the kids, fraction of, we multiply sign, okay? So they do theirs a little differently. I would have just done 2/3 over 5 whole. But they did it this way, which is fine because 3 times 1 is going to be 3. So if this makes more sense to you, do it this way. But I've learned it this way, and I think it's easier. Okay, so 2 times 5 is 10 thirds, or 3 times 1 is 3. We could do that over here too, 10 thirds. Same answer. 3, how many 3's are in 10? There's 3 with 1 left over. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. Whoops. The denominator stays the same though. So 3 and 1/3 gallons is how much they drank. Okay, so now we have our own story problem. It's back to Miles. Let me make this a little bit smaller because it says we're supposed to draw a picture like they kind of drew a picture up there. Okay, so it says Miles had 24 basketball cards. Miles told Trent that he could have this time 2/6 of his cards. How many basketball cards did Miles give Trent? Okay, he had a total of 24. So if you want to solve it, you can solve it either the way that they did it would be 2/6 plus 2/6 plus 2/6. That was the thirds you'd have to do because there's 2/6. There's only 3 2/6, right? Because 2, 4, 6 equals 6, 6, which equals the whole. So you can either do it that way, or you can do it 24 and put that over 1 times 2/6. Anytime you want a fraction of something, it gives you the answer. Okay, 24 times 2 is 48. 1 times 6 is 6. And 48 divided by 6 is 7. Okay, so that just tells us what 2/6 of 24 is. Okay, so now we have to make a picture of this. So 24 cards, the denominator here is 6. So we're going to make 6 rows. So here's 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows, 5 rows, 6 rows. I'm kind of going sideways. Okay, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay? So then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 1/6. This is 2/6. I think I did that wrong. I sure did. Look at that. I know that's wrong because this is not going to be 7. What's wrong with my brain? The coronavirus has gotten to it. 48 divided by 6 is not 7. I bet Cade was yelling, Mrs. Meyer, it's not 7, it's 8. How many of you guys were yelling at me from home? Good job. I'm glad you caught the teacher in a mistake. 8, because each one of these is a 6, right? Here's 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 6, 6. And he told him he would give him 2 6. So 2 6 would be here. There's 2 6. That would be 3 6 and 6, or 4 6 and 6 6. So how much did he get? 4 plus 4 is 8. If I would have had that right in the first place. Okay, so see, this is what we're doing here. Okay? Now, come down to the bottom underneath that, and it says to solve, write the answer in lowest terms, draw a picture to show the solution. Okay? So you're going to do the exact same thing that we just did. This one's going to be marbles, and this one's going to be candies. Okay? So use the 3, 2/3. You're going to need 3 groups. Okay? So we're going to draw 3 groups. I'll go ahead and help you. 3 groups of 15. Plus, I like this. This is fun. So 1, 2, 3 groups, and keep going until you get to 15. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And we want 2 of those groups. There's 1 group, 2 groups. Okay? So how many are in 2 groups? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 2/3 of 15 equals 10. You could also do it this way. 2 times 15 is 30. And 3 times 1 is 3. 30 divided by 3 is 10. See? Okay, candies. You know what? I'm going to let you guys do those too, because those are easy peasy. All right, and then at the very bottom it says solve, write the answer in lowest terms. We've already done that. That's just like the one we did yesterday. Okay, and then at the top of the next page, turn the page. It says use counters to solve. I'm going to show you the first one. I don't want to take away your fun though. It's kind of fun. I grabbed, it's 1/5 times 1/5 of 20. Let me write that here so I can get rid of the page. See this? 1/5 times 20. Okay, so I grabbed Jolly Ranchers. Yum! And they're all red and pink. Cherry and watermelon. Doesn't that make your mouth water? These were my favorite when I was a kid. They don't taste as good now. It's funny, when we get older, for some reason our taste buds are not as good, so enjoy everything that you taste right now as a kid, because when you get older it doesn't taste as good. I don't know why, but my favorite was cherry. Watermelon was okay. My favorite was cherry, and my sister, Mrs. Kelly, her favorite was fire. Do they still have fire ones? They're called fire sticks. We used to have these great big sticks of them, like this big, kind of like you guys have Airheads. Airheads have like a long stick. They used to make them like that for us. And the ones that were cinnamon were called fire sticks. I don't know if they still sell the fire ones or not. But anyway, Mrs. Kelly liked those. All right, so there's 20 of these because our problem was what is 1/5 of 20. And now you can hardly see that because it's not very white. Okay, so the denominator says 5. So we're going to make it into 5 groups. Okay, so I'm going to push them out of the way. I may have to go out a little further here. There we go. Okay, so we'll make 5 groups. 1, 2, 3. Oh, they're not very cooperative. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, I'm going off the page, aren't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 makes 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 makes 15. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't see them very well, can you? They don't like to stand in a straight line. It doesn't help that the little tray I have them in is not straight either. Okay, so we have 5 groups. Can you see all 5? No, you can't. There's another group right there. Okay, there's 5 groups. Let's see if I can make it smaller. I think I can. Can you see them now? Yes. Okay, 5 groups, and so in the 5th, so 1/5 of 20 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should be. Let's do the math and see. 1/5 times 20. I'm going to move this over a little bit so you can see it better and not get in the way of the candies. Don't want to get in the way of the candies. Okay, 1 times 20 is 20. 5 times 1 is 5. What's 20 divided by 5? Equals, did I say 5 a second ago, or did I say 4? Because there's 4 here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 in each row. I think I might have said 5 a second ago. But 1/5 of 20 is 4. See? Okay, so it says to use counters. If you want to, you can just do them, because some of I hope you're all saying, oh, this is so easy, I don't need to use counters. Fine, then go ahead and just do it this way, no problem. Or just find anything. It doesn't have to be Jolly Ranchers. Do not tell Mom, I need Jolly Ranchers to do my math. Good try. I can hear some of you guys telling her that. Demetrius, yeah, and Evan, I can see you guys saying that to him, aren't you? So just grab whatever. 20 spoons. Well, actually, 20 was the first one. What's the next one? The next one is 12. Whoops, too small again. The next one is 12, and the last one is only 8. Okay, so that was this one right here, number 8. So you guys can write the answer to number 8 is 4. And if you want to, you can just multiply these like we've been doing. Or if you want to use the counters just for the sake of the fun of it, you'll need 12 counters and 8 counters. So you could use 12 spoons. You could use, if your mom has marshmallows, you could use 12 marshmallows. You could use 12 of any kind of candies. You could go outside and do this outside. Use 12 rocks or 12 dandelions. Do you guys have as many dandelions as I do in my yard? Oh, it's awful. I think I almost need to pay one of those chemical people to come, because it's just like, it looks like I'm trying to grow a dandelion garden. There's so many of them. It's crazy. So you could get those 12 dandelions, whatever you want to. 12 Matchbox cars, or what's the other brand? My brother used to collect them, Matchbox. He mostly collected Matchbox, so I can't think of the other. I know you boys are yelling at me. Kate is yelling, telling me, Nathaniel, it's this. I can't think of what the other. Oh, Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels, yes. Hot Wheels, or girls, or Lego. You guys get Legos. Girls, you could use, what do girls use? Lipsticks? Does your mom? She probably does have 12 lipsticks, so you better ask first. 12 Barbie dolls. I played with Barbie dolls. I don't know how old. I played with Barbie dolls till I was pretty old, so maybe 12 Barbie dolls. I don't know whatever you want to do. But anyway, it says to use counters in this section. That's what it's talking about. So if you don't want to use counters, I give you permission to go ahead and do these, okay? And then the next section is review from the day before. Remember, whenever we write equations, we write the math problem to solve it. To find out how many inches are in half of an yard, ask what is half of 36, because there's 36 inches in a yard. So you do 36 times 1/2. 36 times 1 is 36. 1 times 2 is 2. What's half of 32 is 16. Okay, so when it says to write the equation, so you're not supposed to just write the answer. You're supposed to write out the problem that you need also. Okay, so the rest of the page, that's what you're doing. It's a pretty easy page. You think it's even easier today than it was yesterday? I hope so. I think it's easy. It's fun. I'll see you tomorrow.